Okay, alright, you are getting no game audio. Yeah, you're getting no game audio because I want to listen to other music. Um, and I might put this up on YouTube and I don't want it to get copyright struck. So let's just. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, the last night there was an update to DLU, and this update makes spiderlings genuinely easy. This didn't stop me mucking up on the Spider Queen fight, but that was because I'm small brained, and it's nothing. Hopefully, nothing fundamental to the strategy. So we're gonna go through this again. I wasn't aware the amount of time fighting spiderlings was actually taking, but it seems to have been taking a fair amount of time, because now they are genuinely easy. I don't know if this was how easy they were in live, but basically what apparently was happening, I know Simon had mentioned this in a stream I was doing in the past, but Simon had mentioned the fact that spiderlings didn't get stunned, or weren't getting stunned, or he mentioned something about stuns not being implemented, and I was kind of confused, because I'm small brained and don't know what's going on. And yeah, basically, sorry, I'm kind of picking up more stuff because this run's going to be it. This run's going to be the one we beat the Spider Queen, and we become the first people to beat Spider Queen in hardcore mode. But yes, that's the plan anyway. But no, I'm being confident we are going to manage this. This is going to be it. But yeah, so basically this update has added stuns, and what that means is that every time I punch an enemy, it seems to cancel its current attack. So this makes certain parts of the game a lot, or at least I don't know exactly how it works, how it's kind of timed with other attacks, but basically it seems that as long as I am punching a spiderling, the spiderling won't attack me. In the periods kind of where my punch recharges in between the 3-punch cycle, then there is still a chance it will attack me, but it will. It's hard for it to attack me. This means that about half the time, actually no, let's just go and do these now. This means that about half the time I can get away with without running away in a spiderling fight, and without even using a health kit. Most of the time, the spiderling will not. I still normally use health kits for safety, but most of the time the spiderling will not get me down to 1 health. Most of the time, the spiderling will not even get a chance to use its lunge attack, which means it's stuck after. For those of you who don't know, the spiderling attack cycle, it is determined by how you move in relation to it, but fortunately not significantly. So as long as you run directly towards and keep attacking it, the cycle goes that it will fire 1 shot at you, then you will reach it, then it will use its lunge attack on you, which will add 2 damage to the 1 damage ranged attack it's already used on you, for a total of 3 damage. You'll now be on 1 health. I did get the other one, yep. You'll now be on 1 health, and you heal up. It will then use its web shooter attack, which will again put you back down to 1 health, and it will likely attack you before you can smash it, depending on timings. It is completely possible to get your timings right and have it not be able to attack you before that. Now, it seems to go through exactly the same cycle as it did before. However, it has the really, really fundamental change that, yeah, there's a huge time delay between these attacks. Like, normally I would get off maybe... normally, by the time the lunge attack had occurred, I would have done 3 attacks. I would need to do 1 more attack. I'd do 1 more set of 3 attacks after taking the healing thing, and there'd be 3 attacks less to do on a more or less ideal run. Now I can deal all 15 damage, which is 5 sets of 3 attacks needed to smash this in one go. Which is, like, before it reaches, that's without it ever being able to reach its lunge attack, just because it's permanently stunned. I don't know if this was how it was in live. Regardless, it makes this fight a lot easier. Interestingly, it doesn't change that much for the run overall. It just means you're less likely to muck up in the spider cave, and it means the recent AI... But Robert, no! I punched Robert. Yeah, it means the recent AI buff, which lets the enemies kind of attack you more aggressively and from a longer distance. It means that has less of an effect. I'm bad. This means that buff is now not really a problem for spiderlings. For other enemies, that is not the case. So for stromlings, this is still a net buff, because, like, wherever you fight stromlings, there will be enough of them that you can't target a single one at a time. Spiderlings are spaced out in the spider cave enough that if you're careful, you can prevent them swarming you and can attack only one at once. Stromlings are a completely different matter, and this update does make them harder. But fortunately, they still only take 1 damage to smash, as long as you're reasonably safe. As long as you don't do anything too stupid, you should be fine. I have nearly died to them by doing stupid things, but we're not going to do that today. I mean, yes, I inevitably am going to do that today, but hopefully I won't die to the stupid things I do. And yeah, then we come down to the Spider Queen fight. The Spider Queen fight, I was an idiot and utterly mucked up yesterday. Because this was going to be... I was on set to, in my first attempt... What do you want me to... Okay, that works. I was all set to, on my first attempt with this update, get the Spider Queen boss fight first try, and utterly forgot my own strategy, which was really stupid. I was going with the 5 firecracker strategy, and so I hadn't spent time here grinding to get a 6th firecracker. Had I been on either of my previous 2 runs, this would have been fine, because I got the 6th firecracker whilst grinding for Maelstrom bricks. However, I wasn't on that run. And yeah, so I was left with 2 firecrackers to fight 3 stromlings. I nearly managed it, because it turns out, I don't know if this is something new to that update, but the spiderlings don't aggro you no matter where you are. They seem to have a much larger aggro radius than normal spiderlings, but they do have some limits on where they aggro you. Which means, yeah, it is possible. It might even be possible, if you get really lucky with where they spawn, or you are really, really careful, it might be possible to do a run without any firecrackers. I love that spawn killing there. I feel that's unlikely in practice, that we'll achieve that, but it should be possible in theory. Let's just leave this here to grind for me whilst I go and do more things. Hopefully nothing despawns. Yeah, okay, let me... Yes, so gonna keep going. Oh, disappointing. It saddens me every time I do something in this game and see that loot tables have been fixed. Okay, again, that is a tactically stupid thing I should not be doing. But I've kind of gotten better at working out how and when I can do it safely. So that's why you see me doing that there. Yeah, so other changes to the strategy, because like I've had issues recently with bitrate when streaming, and somehow I managed to muck up the settings on OBS so that I'm having difficulty streaming at the moment. So, I mean, that's why this attempt isn't being streamed, amongst other things. It's not going to be a hard thing to reset. I just need Vicekey to talk me through how to be a competent streamer again. Okay, and so yeah, there have been things that have changed recently. I mean, I guess you. Oh no, I did. Okay, so I did discuss the five shots method last time I streamed. So okay, that I have discussed on stream, but yeah, but there was a major change, just something I was doing, but I've utterly lost my train of thought, which is totally normal. Yeah, no idea which part of my strategy I'm referring to updating, or to having updated. Ah well, I mean, hopefully you'll just see when it comes to it. But yeah, so the thing about not streaming is this means that it takes ages for me to upload videos I do to YouTube, and it kind of like cuts out our Wi-Fi at home for a little while whilst I do it, because like it's taking up all the bandwidth. Look at me using computery words as though I know what they mean. But yeah, basically that basically has the potential to take out our internet temporarily, and so I try and avoid doing it as much as possible, which ends up with me like that's why I quite like streaming, because it's a way for me to upload a video without me having to spend time trying to get it to actually upload. Hey, I managed to not get hit once there. I'm kind of impressed with myself. You saw nothing. Hello. I have now started wondering about the possibilities of doing a hitless run. I don't think I'm ever going to try and do that, because I don't think I'm good enough. But it would theoretically be possible. Or at least I think it might be. Okay, here we are. So even once we get this mission, we're just going to keep grinding, because we want the Maelstrom bricks, and this is a pretty efficient way to get those. I don't think they drop any more efficiently from spiderlings. So, like, why fight spiderlings and have a higher risk of dying when I could fight these? I mean, I guess there are actually a couple of reasons, but this also lets me fight enemies in bulk. And smash far more enemies, which technically is something I want to do. Like, in this run, it probably won't make much of a difference, but it's currently not possible to get, in DLU, to get more hearts, more health. or more max health, which means more max health from flags, at least in the areas to which we currently have access, because gnarled forest, they're not all possible, and they're not all possible in Avant Gardens. At least they're, yeah, well, no. Given what DOU currently has, they're not possible in Avant Gardens. There are some caveats to it being possible or not, but like if you had certain items, you could manage it in vanilla. I'm gonna die to my own stupidity here. No, don't you dare. I could have used a health thing, but I wanted to conserve them, which is stupid because like money and health things aren't a problem in this run. But I just like knowing that I've gone through this and having played optimally enough to keep all my to not need to use a single health kit throughout these fights. The only issue is when I don't play that optimally. Shame. So I've been trying recently to keep track of the Maelstrom bricks that I've collected in my head, but I have not managed that. I'm on 7 or 8, I think. You may wonder why I'm interested in doing that, and for the swag points of looking like I'm not checking my inventory. It's no good reason. Okay, can you actually hit them? Would be great. It's going to despawn before it, yeah. Great, okay. Goodbye. So yeah, for now this run is pretty standard, pretty equivalent to what I've done in lots of previous runs. I mean, I've kind of begun to optimize this beginning for speed a little bit, just because, like, if a run fails, I want to have wasted less time on it. This isn't a speed run, but on average, I don't want to waste time doing these runs that I don't have to. Okay, come on, let me finish. Now shoot both of them, please, while I pick up my hearts. And this is why I always should remember to be clever and leave hearts lying around rather than picking them up when I don't need them, like I just did there. I mean, sometimes you can't always dodge the loot, but depending on where you are in your own attack cycle, or how fast you react to the loot being there. Alright. Goodbye. Okay, I'm still keeping track in my head of what I think it is at, but I would like to say it's probably quite easy for you lot to keep count, because, like, or I don't know, I feel what. So lots of people comment on the notion of backseat gaming in YouTube videos and pointing out stuff that the YouTuber didn't notice. I, as a viewer, always feel like it's really obvious. I can only assume it isn't as the player, and doing this now, I feel that's probably the case, because if you're intentionally keeping track of the number of Maelstrom bricks I've collected, you're probably not paying attention to, like, well, dodging enemies, because you don't have to. And, like, I know it seems like a small thing to keep count of on top, but I suspect it would be easier watching this back. And for those who are wondering, given I mentioned that I've tried this multiple times, just recording it, but I'm not publishing all of my attempts because it takes ages for me to publish YouTube videos, and you're wondering, why am I particularly commentating on this one? The answer is I'm not particularly commentating on this one. I have done a running commentary on all of them, and they've all failed, so Does he give me anything for this? No. Okay, cool. So, yeah, in terms of minor optimizations... What? Okay, this is the first time I've actually gone more than is necessary. How am I on that many? I swear. I thought I was on like 12. I mean, fair enough. If my comment section wasn't mostly dedicated to people memeing me for, I don't know, me, then I'm sure I'd get people commenting, and I obviously will now. I've said this on the fact that they were keeping count, and I was obviously wrong. But okay, so the issue is, again, I've now mentioned the prediction that someone will comment on it. Normally, I would say that means they won't, but if I were just guessing what one person would do, then they could still call my bluff on that. But with an entire comment section full of people, I'm reasonably certain someone would. However, again, now I've mentioned this, it actually reduces the chance someone will. It's the whole thing about... I mean, from my perspective, it's the whole thing about Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. But that's possibly not the best way of explaining that. For anyone who wants to get the same experience I'm currently getting, there's a band called Two Steps from Hell. Play their album, play the Dragon playlist on shuffle and loop, and that is more or less down to some order, what I am hearing right now, if you really want the true Ninja experience. I also realised, I feel I should address this. I was called NinjaOfLU before Ninja was a thing. Can I just say that? Like, I don't just call myself NinjaOfLU because I'm like Ninja, but doing LU stuff, because I don't think I am. I hope I'm not, because I don't intend to be a YouTuber person. But yeah, so I figure I might as well say that now. The thing is, it doesn't... Like, people don't watch... Or, okay, no, some people actually have binged my videos, which is, like, confusing from my perspective that someone would want to do that. But, like... If I say something in one video, it's unlikely that the person who is actually wondering that question will hear the answer. But I also can't answer all the questions people have at the start of every video, so... I don't know. There's got to be a better way of putting information like that out there, but I don't know it. And it's not like people would read it if I added it to the description. So in other interesting news, because this is still news, only really people on the DLU Discord or on the LUSR Discord server will know about this. New bug discovered. The first bug that can gain you height in LEGO Universe. Okay, not technically true. There is a terrain teleportation glitch I discovered that works on maps where you can get out of bounds, or most maps where you can get out of bounds. It doesn't even work on all of them. There are some ones like block yards that just do weird stuff. But yeah, okay, so there's a terrain teleportation glitch. Technically that can gain you height, but thing, like in terms of a glitch that can gain you height, like wherever you are. That's like there hasn't been one, and that has been awful, and that has for certain challenges. In particular, the challenge of making it the imagination brick without using the elevator. Because the elevator, I swear that's only worked. That's either only worked in LCDRU or has worked in LCDRU in one version of UCHU and doesn't work in the current one. I know I remember Vincent saying he was going to... Me pointing it out and Vincent saying, oh yeah, I'll implement that. But I don't know... And I have a vague memory of then doing it afterwards, but perhaps he never did and I just did on LCDRU and assumed it was implemented on UCHU. And I mean, lots of people... It's definitely not on the current UCHU version. But yeah, so... Like, what this... so, yeah, recently I was mucking around on DLU. Okay, server lag is concerning. If there is server lag, I will restart. Okay, no, it seemed to just be that once. Or not restart, I will relog. Okay, but prepare to watch how easy spiderlings are. Oh, that was what I was going to talk about. Well, I don't know if it was, but I did come up with a new technique for fighting spiderlings recently, which reduces the time spent retreating, which is also quite important because now retreating is a lot riskier because their AI goes further. However, it's now also a pointless tactic because look how easy this is. I'm just spamming Alt. There we are. You saw it even begin on the lunge animation, but it never got a chance. Yeah, let's do this again. This is like... It's not perfectly repeatable, but it is pretty much perfectly repeatable. Yes, sometimes it gets the lunge animation, but they never get far enough to use the web shooter attack. Or at least in none of my testing yet I've ever managed to. It's whether or not it gets the lunge somewhat depends on like server side. Like you see it tried there, it didn't, but you also saw it tried there a minute ago and it did. So yeah, that's dependent on timing. But yeah, there we are. So it did there. But it will never get off, at least in all my testing thus far, it will never manage to get off the web shooter attack. Which means, like, I can be perfectly safe in just running up to spiderlings and doing this. Which, I mean, is brilliant for me. Because that makes this section of the run a lot easier. Also, will probably make grinding easier in future. Like, just trying to get faction tokens, etc. The only annoying thing is they don't always drop hearts, which means I don't always get to recharge full health. I'm going to build this because I built this on another account the other day and it just spat out like a ton of faction tokens. Hello? Okay, and now I need to fight you because you've noticed I exist. Okay. This one I may need to use the... Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Okay, that was... I panicked because I saw it charging up that attack, but I forgot that I was still on full health. And that I managed to cancel it mid-charge up for that attack. You might actually just be entirely safe from that attack, because that attack does have a long charger. So it could be that you are entirely safe. I'm just too scared to test it. Or rather to actually try and induce it. However, there are times where there might be practical applications to cancelling that attack. For instance, in the Spider Queen fight. Fortunately, like, I can get firecrackers the second I reach an infestation. So, like, there's no reason not to use them at the moment in the Spider Queen fight. I don't know, maybe there would be in the future some reason, but I can't come up with any reason why I wouldn't want to use them in this fight. I guess technically if money became tight later in the game, but I mean, grinding's still an option. So I don't see why I wouldn't just grind. Okay, so now we buy all the stuff we're going to need, and that tends to involve me buying more, significantly more stuff than I should need for this fight. But, like, it's not stuff it won't be useful to have later. I was going to say it's not stuff we won't need later. We probably won't need it later, but it might be helpful to have. I'm keeping the red imaginite. Just because, I don't know, maybe I get extremely lucky and get given an amazing everlasting consumable from the vending machine. Pretty certain it can't actually give those, but it's not like I'm running out of room in my inventory, or it's not like I even will be. So 30 of those should be enough. I think I went for 40 in a previous run. It was kind of, I might go for 40 in this actually. It's more than I should need in the same way that 70 health kits is more than I should need, but it's worth just in case having. It's worth having them just in case. So I'm going to do that. That's everything I need. I'm then going to reorganize my inventory. Just because I don't want anything else being in my line of sight during the fight. Like, there's no reason I should need to, like, be really careful of any of this, but, or, like, have all of this set up nicely, but it helps. Just what it might do. I don't know. It's less stuff for my eye to keep track of. So I'm a fan. Yeah, there's a particular route I now take whilst doing this. Because it turns out that fans have a shorter cooldown than lasers, which means the following route is, I mean, as far as I can tell, pretty much optimal for picking stuff up for completing this mission. And note I do have to slow down there, because otherwise I won't pick those up, because you saw before if I keep running then I won't pick those up. But yeah, you can see, like, even though I'm not speedrunning this, I have slowly just built up a list of optimizations in my head. That's kind of, I won't ever do anything that's risky, because, like, I mean, it's not worth. I'm not trying to do this quickly on any particular run. I'm trying to do this quickly on average. Again, note there, just a small thing, notes that I jump onto that pad rather than walking onto it. Walking onto it's faster, but I don't get the imagination, which I want to build that button. If I hadn't got that imagination, I wouldn't have had enough imagination to build that button. I would have had to use a notion potion, and that would have not affected the run in any way. Because I would have had to use one notion potion, and I would need to use one, maybe two, max in Gnarled Forest to finish the Siren statues, and, like, further than that I've never gotten, so I haven't bothered to plan that out yet, as to what I would even do past that point. The challenge for the next thing I haven't managed to do and don't know how I would do is beating a Maelstrom Ape. But that I definitely want to wait for. I'm probably not going to... There are things I'm not going to do, and I think I'm... Currently, with the enemies available, apes are the one enemy that I really, really don't want to take on. And I probably won't take on until more stuff is implemented with DLU. So specifically, I would want, in order to fight an ape, I would want hardtack biscuits, and I would want an extra health point. Because hardtack biscuits will get me... they will give me temporarily 2 extra health points, and 1 extra health point would keep me going. 1 extra health point would put me up to 7, which means I temporarily have 7 health points. That is enough to survive a hit from an ape. And given that apes are quite unpredictable in DLU, like, I would want to do that. Good news, however, certain pirate quick builds have been finished. Which means, hopefully... so I'm not totally certain to what extent they work. At the moment, they might only work if you already have the hook hands thing. If that's the case, then we won't be using them, because in order to get that hook hand, you have to have... Well, no, we will use them, but the question is whether or not I need to quick build glitch as part of this run. Which, in theory, is one of the stumbling blocks on which the run can fail, but it is unlikely the run will ever fail on that. Okay, here it goes. Yeah, the run is very unlikely to fail on me mucking up a quick build glitch, because, like, the first couple it could have done, but I've now, like, learnt exactly where, like, what angles, or more or less, I've kind of just got enough experience. I know which angles I need to do it at. I need 3 quick builds, rather, to pull it off. That means I can muck up twice and still have it be fine. And even if I do muck up twice... Well, if I do muck up twice, it's going to be hard, because I would then have to fight a Stromling ape. And no one ever wants to do that. Okay, spawn in. There we are. Do this for health. I equip something else to my 5th slot, and then I equip the health kit. Okay, that's going to go. She's then going to shoot an invisible shot at me. There we are. That was probably that, I think. At which point I now pick this up. Yep, okay, so that was me timing that perfectly. Not going to lie. Okay, that's the invisible shot. Invisible shot has been fired, hasn't hit me, so I now pick up that mission. Okay, here goes. And now we fight the Spider Queen. The Spider Queen herself, not too much of a problem. The spiderling she spawns, as I've mentioned a million times, far more of a problem. Rules for Spider Queen, or the rules I follow when playing it, is you don't let yourself get below 3 health, and while still being in a position where you can't dodge. If you get right in the intersection between the closer 2 circles, then you're always safe. The Spider Queen appears to have some issues hitting you with projectiles when you're this close, which we abuse to the full. And now it's literally, I mean, you can probably hear I'm just spamming Alt. There's not much we can do. What I have to remember this time is to actually... you can't split stacks, which is annoying. If I could split stacks, then I would split this up into a 3 into 2 to prevent me being an idiot. Let's get over here, because this is a better position. Okay, so I should be retreating right now, but I'm gonna be bad and not. Like, bad tactics, but the 3 damage, especially when you're up this close, that requires 2 attacks to come simultaneously, which, like, okay, technically they shouldn't do, but sometimes they do. But it's rare. It's rare enough that, like, yeah, I don't know. It's rare enough that I managed to survive Okay, wait a second, did I get out in time? Because ideally I want to get out before these spawn in. Okay, so one of them's currently aggroed to me. Can I just try and fight this one without letting the other one know I exist? Because if I can do that, then I can save. Yes, okay, this seems to work. So now I just really lay into this spiderling. Okay, that's easy. Okay, this, like this, I can survive without using any firecrackers. Okay, this is risky. I should not have attacked when I did because I didn't have a health kit to hand, but that was fine. Okay, maybe I can do this. I'm not gonna aim to do it firecrackerless, because that feels like it would be a really stupid thing for me to do and I would end up losing the run because of it. But I'm not going to... Okay, let's move into this position. Okay, I did muck that up. I mucked that up, but only because as I was punching, I was sliding along. Maybe I find a better position here. Give that a go. Okay. I mean, in theory, it shouldn't make too much of a difference, but which side I'm on, because I think I'm pretty certain the Spider Queen is a square hitbox. However, those don't fall in perfect squares. That never happens. That, like, never happens. It actually targeting... Those rockets never target me when I'm that close. That was a surprise. Anyway, we have got 5 firecrackers to deal with these two. To deal with these 3 spiderlings coming up, that should be more than enough. I can play this pretty badly, and it shouldn't be a problem. Which means the 5 firecracker strategy is, like, perfectly valid. There's some RNG dependence, like, you notice one of them was already targeting me when it spawned in, because of where I was standing, and like that can happen. And if both of them can already be targeting you when you spawn in. Okay, where are they? Got one up there. I mean, like, ideally, I would activate 2 of them at once. Can't see where they are, which means they're probably there. I think I just saw something there, so there are probably 2 of them there. Unless, no, if one of them were there, it would have aggroed me anyway. Okay, here we are. So we see one of them. I'm just gonna power up. Oh no, wait a second. So first we get, if you're wondering why I'm still moving around, it's to dodge any bullets shot through terrain. Okay, so I'm gonna power up, run in. So, is worth, in this instance, okay, where's the third? I don't like that I don't know where the third is. Where's the third spiderling? Because this entire strategy, like, relies on me knowing where everything is at all times. There should be a third spiderling. Why is one not spawned in? Okay, I'm going to power up with this. I'm going to adjust these spiderling cycles if I can. I don't think I managed it there. Something seemed really weird. Okay, successfully adjusted cycles. Not in the way I wanted, but successfully nonetheless. What is... I'm really tempted to relog because I do not like there only being 2 of them here. But if it is a server bug, there's not too much I can do, I don't think. Okay, wait a second, how are those in time? Okay, they're pretty good. So I lost health in previous runs and actually died to remaining too close to these. Okay, well, I've played badly, but because we're missing a spiderling, that's not affected me. The issue is that we're missing a spiderling. I don't know why we're missing a spiderling. I'm just going to charge because I can... One just didn't spawn in? What happened there? So I didn't even smash any of the pillars, so it couldn't be like a pillar was smashed. Unless two spiderlings tried to spawn in on the same... I don't know if it checks whether or not the pillar... Whether or not there's kind of... Okay, so I don't remember if the player can attack the pillars and smash the pillars before the spiderlings spawn. On DLU, that crashes the server. And so we don't do that. Gonna keep playing that animation. Okay, I was joking, but it actually seems to be stuck in an animation loop. That's actually kind of problem. Okay, that's better. It's kind of problematic because if it's stuck in an animation loop, I don't know what she's going to do next, and I don't know when she's actually going to use that attack. Fortunately, even if I don't know what attack she's going to use, I'm still pretty safe. I don't know. So, okay, so what I'm wondering is if two spiderlings try to spawn in on the same egg, maybe that was what happened there. And so one of them spawned in, which resulted in the destruction of the egg. And then the other one couldn't spawn in because it was as though the egg had been destroyed, even though the player hadn't destroyed it, the other one had. I don't know. I've certainly never seen it before. Either way, kind of saves me from the fact I threw my firecrackers suboptimally in that run, but it didn't make too much difference. Oh, are you gonna get stuck in that animation every time you try and do that? I wonder what's going on there. Anyway, there we are. First legitimate hardcore Spider Queen on hardcore LU Spider Queen on DLU. There we are. I mean, this server version makes it particularly easy, but everything I did there would have worked on any server version. It actually just, it didn't make this part easy, it made the early game easier. What also happened was that thing not spawning in. I don't know what happened there. That confuses and concerns me. But I mean, I know it's like I haven't hacked or changed anything because, like, come on, what could I have done? Like, okay, realistically, the only way I could have caused that to happen, like, realistically, the server thinks that I did that. The server thinks that that thing didn't exist. The only way I could manage to do that, I could only manage to make the server think that, is, like, illegitimately, is if I had some control over the server. And the only way that could happen... You're just not going to line up. These are the ones that never line up. I really want to actually just one day build a castle that lines up. Because these these never do. Just so sad, genuinely. It's all I want. It's for my castle to line up. Would that line up if I weren't standing there? I doubt it. How about here? Sorry, this is genuinely just... I've never, any LU server emulator, had a castle that worked. What is that actually? Small con. How about these? Do these work? So this lines up. Maybe... Okay, I don't know, but... I mean, this is genuinely a huge moment for me, having that line up. This I don't care, this isn't symmetrical or anything. So it just seems like those ones don't line up. Don't know why. Yes, I know this is meant to be like a hardcore LU run, but also that's the first time that's ever actually worked out for me. So okay, so these pine trees, they're like available nowhere in the game. Like they're pretty much only available from this mission, I think, because I was looking for them for Vaisky the other day, because he wanted to build Finland. There we are. I think that's meant to play an animation as he disappeared, but that's a very, very small bug. Okay. This was a success. Didn't even take that long. And it means that what I was saying at the beginning about the fact that this is going to be my time to achieve it was right. I mean, like, honestly, this is quite easy with the spiderlings as they are now. Like, yeah, that makes things a lot easier. The bit that's so I would expect, like, this took me 2 runs to get. I would expect I should be able to get this reasonably consistently. Like maybe 70, 80% of the time. Just because with this new update, the spiderlings do not pose any problems in the spider cave. It's just those ones there. We got some reasonably good RNG with one of them spawning in far enough away that I could abuse where it had spawned, but like it wasn't like insanely good RNG. Oh. Looks like I should have turned up there first. Had 3 firecrackers going into that fight would have been good. Ah well, doesn't make that much difference. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do some Nord Valley. That's a crossover I'd like to see. Some Nord Forest missions. I'm not going to complete this character. I might like go through and properly do this on stream at some point. Just properly grind out achievements on this character. But I want to get some. I want to get Stroming Admiral achievements and such first. Because those are the ones with the next greatest risk. And so like it makes sense to do the riskiest achievements first. And then I'll just grind out remaining things. I probably should practice admirals. Because it's been a while since I fought them. Also, that only required me using 4 Quixicles that fight. Not bad, not bad. One thing that might actually come to a premium at some point with this is inventory space. I hadn't thought about that previously, but because obviously you only have a finite number of consumables. The aim, however, would be to try and get something like the big one. I don't have the shame. Like ideally, if I could get something like the big one, then I would never need to get firecrackers again. I can't remember if the big one's just a rare drop or if you also get it as a achievement item. Yeah, I have no idea. Ideally, it would be an achievement item, because if it's a rare drop, it's a Crux Prime rare. And I mean, I know I shouldn't be able to legitimately get it at the moment in DLU, but the question is whether or not I could get it at all. The other thing is it is now, I believe, technically possible to reach that crate, which you need for a mission for Rad Eccles, which you need in order to get the water sprayer, which you need for Pets Cove, which you need for pets, which you probably need for some stuff. I mean, you need it for things like flags. You don't need it for... It's not necessary for the main quest chain, but it's helpful. And yeah, I'm being reasonably loose with my use of Quixicles here. But honestly, so the thing is, money shouldn't make that much difference in this run. Mostly because, like, all I need money for really is firecrackers. Because, honestly, health kits, once you get to Gnarled Forest, you're fighting admirals and pirates. And apes. Admirals and apes will one-shot you. So, what's the point in... Like, Admirals and apes will one-shot you. Pirates are easy unless you get... like, even if you get swarmed, honestly, they're pretty easy. The only risk from pirates is that you'll do what I do, which is try and attack a clump of them by throwing a firecracker into an exploding chest, and you'll get caught up in the explosion. But if you get caught up in the explosion, that explosion does something like 10 or 15 damage. So you're dead anyway. So there's actually health kits, probably from this point on in the game. They're more of a nice-to-have feature than a necessity. Which means, yeah, the only thing you really need money for is firecrackers, because those are your only way of really attacking that can leave you able to fight, to have any hope of fighting most of these enemies. But I mean, again, honestly, like, firecrackers still don't do most of the damage. Like, most of the damage is still done via exploding chests, because they deal more damage and probably are easier to use against admirals. They're probably not safer, honestly, but given the number of times I've smashed myself by mucking up fighting one of those, but actually, no, they definitely are safer. Well, which one do I want to go? I technically don't have a Sentinel character, so Sentinels. Not that this actually makes any difference, because I'm never going to be able to use any of the stuff I get for it. Like the Awesome Aid, or whatever. Like, that doesn't change buff per shop, and that's like the only faction-only consumable. Which one do I want? Saw someone in chat the other day saying they were a samurai in live. So I will represent them. Like, in a so in a no damage run, assuming you're not doing hardcore LU rules, you're just doing no damage. You'd want to go. You definitely want to go Sentinel. Okay, let me also sell stuff, because there's lots of stuff I do need to sell. For instance, goodbye. No point to keep these because I can't use any of it, and this gets me faction tokens, which allows me to buy my faction, like, imagination potion, whatever it is, thing, which I can then give to Nexus J. So it gets me all that for free. There we are. Okay. And it just keeps me positive in money. Normally in games like this, I'd worry about money, because obviously you lose money when you die, but you also lose your character when you die, so... Okay, and I... does the other one make... Does the... it doesn't matter, because I'll grind up those quests at another point. This is the challenging part of the run. So yeah, let's... Should I not have to have... Am I not meant to have asked to have gone the mission from Nexus J first before I can do that? Or do multiple things give me that mission? I didn't really mean to get that mission, but... What I meant to do was do this so I could... Oh, let me get the extra imagination. Is it imagination point I get from reading the book? I think it is. Yeah, there we are. I don't think I actually get anything else from that. I don't think I get XP or anything, but that's fine. Don't need any. I could stock up on barbecue blast hot dogs. Is it, what, 25 of them for that achievement? I really should check how many it is before just going for it. What is it? General, what would it be? What would it be under? Battle, build, play. No. It shouldn't be under worlds. So there's something that gets you everlasting hiccup tablets, which is what I'm looking for. Wouldn't be in any of those. Is it under worlds? It should not be. Because, like, you can get barbecue blast hot dogs anywhere. Or not anywhere, but quite a few places. Okay, it is. Quit your belly aching. 525, so we need 30. That's fine. That's useful because the everlasting hot... So these I'm not going to use in fights because these are way too risky to use in a fight. Because they, as you can see, they hold you still for that time and they do 3 damage. And you have to be quite nearby, as opposed to... Okay, I shouldn't be running off though because there's still other stuff I need to buy from him. But anyway, as opposed to the firecrackers where they do 5 damage from a distance. Sorry, 3 damage from a distance. But no, they've got the same cost. So it's not worth going for one over the other. Other nice thing, everlasting consumable. So it's a consumable actually means I can get rid of the notion potions. And no, I'll keep them because that might be really useful. Okay, and so the other thing I need to do is just do the obvious and stock up on a ton of firecrackers. Because firecrackers are, now I've made it to Nimber Station, firecrackers are how I fight from now on. From here on in, I should never need any... Oh, I will also get some Quixicles. I have some Quixicles for the road. Okay, that should be sufficient. I also want space in my inventory so that when I get to Gnarled Forest, I can pick up some mines. And now I'm literally just going to be going through barbecue blast hot dogs. There might be a counting bug with them. I don't remember. And okay, whilst I'm going through these, I don't really want to be in Gnarled Forest trying to do these because I will do something stupid like fall into a ravine because I'm mucking around with barbecue blast hot dogs. So I'm going to just pick up some missions around here with them. So that is now achievable with consumables only, because the spring shoes should be able to get that. At the very least, spring shoes mid-air cancelling should let you get that. Because they have some, like, they have quite an impressive range in which they deal damage. And you know what, let's just pick up missions, because this challenge is just about getting missions and completing missions. I mean, in fairness, I should have looked at what I was doing. So what is this? Forward dance emote. C, it's not going to be 1. C3, 1. That's enough dancing. Right. Okay, I'm pretty certain he's meant to show you moves here and isn't, but well. I mean, I'm just going to keep doing this because I need more barbecue blast hot dogs. That was bad. There we are. Machination point. I can go get heart flags as well whilst we're going through these. There are just some easy things you can do. Could also get party pants. Complete some of these missions whilst I'm here. Like I don't need to, but I don't need to, and I am going to try and do missions on stream when I get that back going. But for now, let's just keep going with these. Okay, so for Milo, what do I need to get that? I'm assuming I need to talk to Maldorf the Orange for that, because this guy doesn't have any more for me, I'm pretty certain. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm just... Okay, and Quit Your Belly Aching is bugged officially. But... Yeah, okay. But now I've stopped. Okay, so what I'll do is, for legitimacy's sake, I will just get rid of all of these. I mean, I wouldn't use them in a fight anyway. I bought enough to have done it legitimately. Which means, so the rules are for hardcore LU, it must be doable on the server without cheating, and it must be live accurate. Which technically that isn't, but because I threw those away, it is effectively live accurate. Excuse me, yep. Brilliant. There we are. Okay, so that's done. I just wanted to get that done, so I had those out of my inventory. And now we get to enjoy the sight of me dying in an old forest. I mean, hopefully not, but inevitably, yes. And from there, we're going to want faction tokens, because we're going to want... Basically, we now want to up our character's XP as much as possible, which is going to include completing missions for like wearing the full speciality kits, etc. I'm pretty certain you do get stuff from that. Or you can check in the passport once we get to Old Forest. So yeah, I'm quite happy because DLU have like released a couple of new, like, reasonably large additions to the changelog, like AI, like bug fixes, AI. Recently, yeah, there were lots of things I could have done, but with this, I'm not going to grind for bananas yet, because those will just fill up my inventory. I'm going to just try not to die here. Maybe I will spin tiki torches as I go. Like if I spin every tiki torch between here and there, I mean, I need imagination anyway. Let's also try not to fall off though as I do it, because that would be not good. I am going to be far more careful than I would normally be with platforming, just because, I mean, this is my 25th anniversary hardcore U attempt. I don't have enough imagination for this, but I do have these. Come on, one more. It's that number's there, which doesn't give me much hope, but okay. So the number there is mucked up, but hey, that's another achievement. Hardtack biscuits, I'm pretty certain, still don't work, so I'm not going to go and buy those. I feel someone would have. I feel I would have noticed, or Funky would have mentioned, had they been working. I'm just feeling like technically they could be, but I feel they're probably not. Oh, and spin the tiki torches. Always. Anyway, that's Pirate Architect. That's a new achievement that wasn't possible until recently. Okay, so now we pick up all of these. They should all follow me, and because there's new increased range on them, should have quite a few for when I do this. That was disappointingly few, I feel, but anyway. And again, I could be risky. I could try and go for like one of these, but maybe I will, but I will have to be very careful about it because I have a history of mucking up throws to these. I mean, that just threw on the wrong one. It's far safer to just get a big clump chasing me here and chuck it on this one where I know I'm safe, as opposed to there where I've kind of got to judge the distance for myself. Okay, clump these guys up here and throw. I mean, that now you can see why I say these guys are pretty much entirely safe. They are more or less harmless. 5. Okay, so I've got to lure them around in that direction, then come back and 5. And I still managed to muck that up and get hit twice. Because, I mean, like, normally you really want to avoid clump stuff. And I am kind of literally intentionally clumping these guys up. Which, like, not a good idea. But I mean, 0 deaths so far. 0 deaths is always good. Especially in a run which challenges you to do it in no deaths. I'm hoping I'm not standing too close, because that would be a really stupid way to die. I'm really tempted to go for that again, but because I will get what is it, privateer as opposed to privateer. Yeah, so I don't really, none of the stuff I'm picking up here I'm going to need. I'm just doing it for the sake of quest chain, because in order for this to be live accurate, I do need to, I should do the missions in the correct order. You don't have to on DLU, but I should. Let's hope they're not chasing me. Okay. Oh, whoa! Whoa, okay, that was... I am so lucky to be alive. Because I could have so easily died to that Admiral. I was kind of like, surely the Admiral won't follow me that far, I'll push the Tiki Torch. And it had. That was so lucky. Okay, wait, why are there so many? Where did they all come from? Why are you all here? Where did you come? How did you get here? Like, seriously, where do these guys actually come from? Maybe they are just normally meant to be around here and I just haven't... They weren't spawning for some reason in previous versions, I don't know. Okay, maybe this area is actually just less safe than I've previously thought it was. Because, I mean, there is no reason for that to be here, I guess. Okay, so... Again, we're doing this as... Oh, yeah. Okay, that's cool. Will they just not attack me? Okay, well, now they will. So I'm going to head out. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to head back through there. I'm going to use this just so I can be as safe as possible against the ape. It's like... Because, like, if that boulder hits me, it'll be a one-hit kill. Which, okay, it was. Well, rip run. Oh well. I will, yeah, rip. Goodbye.